Afternoon, guys. I hope good home win today, Corley, against Homesdale 5-0 victory. How did you see that game unfold?
I thought we were really bright today. For restarts, I think we've done some work this week in terms of set pieces and throw-ins. And I thought we were really, really good. Just to restarts all around the pitch today, and I think we've created enough chances to win 4 games. That was the only frustrating thing at half time, where the game should have been out of sight really at half time with the amount of chances we've missed. But we've done really well in terms of focus at the back, making sure that we've reduced them to minimal chances and then taken more chances in the second half. Obviously, the boys that have come off the bench have kept the same tempo, the same work ethic. Carney's come off the bench and changed the game a little bit in the second half with his energy and his quality. So I'm really pleased for him to get his goals today. So yeah, it was a real squad performance, which, I said at half time at 2-0 was a bit of a dangerous scoreline, because you miss with them opportunities, their backs are up, and which they could have done, they could have nicked one early in the second half, and then it's a tighter game than it should have been. But really pleased, obviously, with the scoreline, a clean sheet, and the last 3 or 4 games we've been a real threat in the final third, and we've scored a lot more goals than we have done early in the season, which was a real focus for us. So yeah, it's a good day, and we move on now to a game on Tuesday.
And as Matt, as Corley mentioned there, last 3 or 4 games, after that cup defeat, the response from the team has been first class. What's your thoughts on how that response from that?
Yeah, I mean, a game like that against Whitstable is a no-lose situation for us, in terms where you're playing against a real top-quality side. And I think what it does do is, when you're pitching yourself against the Step 3 teams that we've played in the Cup, and then we've played a Step 1 team, that's the level that you're then running at and you're playing at. And then when you come up against teams at your own level, hopefully it should seem easier. And I think over the last 2 or 3 games, I wouldn't say that we've had easy games, because we haven't. But we've played Homesdale in the Cup and won 4-0 without being anywhere near convincing. Then we've obviously gone to Belvedere in a scrappy game last Saturday and won 1-0. Then obviously in the week, they didn't start brilliantly, but we've won the game convincingly. And today I thought we started the game really, really well, and obviously we've won it particularly convincingly. But this was the best performance out of those prior games. And I just feel like, I don't think we were disappointed after the game against Whitstable, because we probably didn't do ourselves justice in the opening 45 minutes. But I think in terms of the journey that we're on this year, I think that was a really important game to have. And I thought we did loads of learning, and I think it's had an impact on these last 3 or 4 games, because you're not going to play against a team of that quality or that fitness levels or anything like that in our division. So the rest of the season is against Step 5, as we said in that interview. And like I say, I think the boys have been brilliant. So I can't fault anyone. I mean, from everybody, but the young players to the senior players. I mean, Joe Healy again tonight, it's ridiculously good. Just such a good footballer. If you could reverse him and we could have another 10 years with Joe, I mean, watch him play, simple as that. So, but overall, I'd echo what the manager says. I think we've had a great response to losing the game, but I don't think that was any way, shape or form going to knock us out of our rhythm in terms of the season, because it was a tough game to go into, one that we weren't expected to win.
Yeah, and I was just speaking to someone in there about how far we moved on. I think it was actually today's sponsor, how far we moved on from this time last year, where we this time of the year, I think we lost more than we won. But a few questions are being asked. So it's in that space of time, what we've achieved is fantastic. So the building blocks are really falling into place.
Yeah, I said in the press last week, I still think there's a lot more to come from this group. I really do. We've got some new faces in. Obviously, Brad's come in his first start today, and I thought he was outstanding in the first half. Tired a little bit because he hasn't played many games. He's going to be a huge asset for us. Just makes us tick, and you can play through midfield a little bit easier when he's in there. And obviously Chris hasn't made the squad today, but he's done well recently. So there's some new faces still that are bedding into the group, but we've kept the core together, and the togetherness is clear throughout. Especially the FA Cup runs that we had. There's a real togetherness in there, but I still think that there's as I say, there's a lot more to come from a group that some of them are still finding their feet in the group. We've only had one training session with 2 or 3 new faces that have come in recently, so we're getting there. We're not the finished article, but far from it at the moment. But displays like today just shows that, again, if no disrespect to them, if we take our chances today, it could be double figures.
Yeah.
And that really needs to be the focus, because we're not going to create that amount of opportunities against the teams that are top, second, third in the league, which we've got coming up potentially. So that's going to be a focus for us in training. But as I say, we worked on a lot of set pieces this week, and I thought the players carried them out really well today, which is really promising.
Yeah, and Matt Doyle mentioned about a couple of new faces there, but we've got some players that have come back from injury, which was good to see them get some minutes today. And obviously, we've got a game Tuesday where we can possibly give some of those guys that are getting back in the groove game time. After going through a bit of a patchy spell where the numbers were a bit low as far as bodies, it must be good to get those guys back in the group.
Absolutely. Like I said, we were just saying, literally on the sideline, we were like, look at the players we're bringing on. And it makes such a big difference. Chairman's been fantastic in supporting us, and we'll be meeting with him again this week to see if we can do a little bit more business. And it helps, as you can see, and that's ultimately where we had a big squad at the back end of last year, and it was successful, and we're doing the same again this year. And hopefully we can continue in that vein, because it helps. Like Jamie said, in terms of, like, Chris isn't involved today, Josh Robson, the goalkeeper, is not involved today. We've got Ricardo back. We've got Connor Wilkins slowly coming back. Like you say, Tuesday night we can get some of them players a little bit more up to speed in terms of the league games. We've got a great big league game next week away at Fisher. Ashton Day hasn't had much minutes lately, so again, obviously he's coming back, but he's coming off the bench. Grant, he's off the bench today. So the strength in depth is majorly important for us. Without that, we've got a 7-day notice on a player that we're hoping to try and get over the line in the next week or so, hopefully. So again, that'll be another addition. And obviously Jetchy to come back, who hasn't even kicked a ball yet, who looks really bright in training, by the way, like really, really bright. So that's another real good plus for us to have him on the way back, and he's nearly ready to start being involved in the squad. So, like I say, look, I don't think we can compete on all fronts without a big squad. I don't think we can. I think we needed it last year, and we kind of missed out towards the back end of last year with too many games. So I think we've got a bigger squad earlier this year, so hopefully we can cope with that, because we've got the Vars coming up, we've got the second round of Kent Senior, we've got the League Cup, and obviously these vital league games. So I think, like I say, credit to what we've done so far, and like you said earlier, we've come a long way, and this group of players and the squad of players that we've got now, and the staff and everything, is way ahead of where we were a year ago. But that's credit to everybody, like even the integration with the youth team. Like, we've had the soccer schools here, like over 120 kids the last 2 days. There's so many of them here today, and they want to come in the change room and get things signed, and all that stuff takes time, and it's important. I don't know how many were here today, but it was another decent crowd on a cold day where people are away. So the whole thing, it's not just the first team, the football team that's come forward. The whole place has come forward since we've been here, which is credit to everybody involved. So hopefully we can continue, and that Tuesday gets us another chance to get back on the pitch.
Brilliant, guys. Thanks for your time, and look forward to seeing you on Tuesday.
Cheers, Andy.
Cheers, Andy.